Wait, what just happened at the Emirates that has the entire football world talking right now? You absolutely need to hear this, because Arsenal just made a statement that could reshape the entire Premier League landscape. And what these two new signings just said in front of the cameras is sending shockwaves through every dressing room in England. Welcome back to Gunners Updates, and trust me when I say you're going to want to stick around for every single word of what I'm about to tell you, because this changes everything we thought we knew about Arsenal's ambitions this season. So let me take you through what went down today at the Emirates Stadium, and honestly, I'm still processing the magnitude of what we just witnessed. Arsenal Football Club officially unveiled Julian Álvarez and Sandro Tonali as their latest acquisitions in what can only be described as one of the most significant press conferences we've seen at the Emirates in recent memory. This wasn't just your standard photo opportunity with a couple of new faces holding up the shirt and smiling for the cameras. No, this was something entirely different, something that felt like a genuine turning point for this football club under Mikel Arteta's leadership. The atmosphere in that room was electric, and you could sense that everyone present understood they were witnessing something special, something that could define Arsenal's trajectory for years to come. Let's start with Julian Álvarez, the sensational Argentine forward who has just completed his move to North London in what represents a club record transfer fee from one of Europe's elite clubs. Now, we've seen plenty of big money signings come through the doors at Arsenal over the years, but what made today different was the sheer conviction and determination that radiated from Álvarez when he stepped up to address the assembled media and supporters. This wasn't a player going through the motions with carefully rehearsed platitudes about being honored to join such a prestigious institution. Instead, Álvarez looked directly into the cameras and delivered a statement that left absolutely no room for doubt about his intentions and his mentality. He made it crystal clear that his arrival at Arsenal isn't about gradually settling into a new environment or taking time to adapt to the demands of English football. In his own words, he emphasized that he didn't make this move to simply participate or to be content with incremental progress. He came to Arsenal Football Club with one singular, unwavering objective, and that objective is to win everything within reach. The way Álvarez spoke about Arsenal as an institution really stood out to me as well. He didn't just pay lip service to the club's illustrious past or mention the history in passing as many new signings tend to do. Instead, he demonstrated a genuine understanding and appreciation of what Arsenal represents in world football, acknowledging the enormous legacy that has been built over generations and the tremendous expectations that come with wearing that famous red and white shirt. He spoke passionately about wanting to contribute goals that matter, the kind of goals that decide crucial matches and swing the momentum of entire seasons. But beyond just the individual statistics and personal achievements, Álvarez made it abundantly clear that his focus extends to the collective success of the team. He wants to be part of a squad that lifts silverware, that brings trophies back to the Emirates Stadium, and that gives the supporters the kind of unforgettable experiences that get passed down through generations of Arsenal families. What really caught my attention was when Álvarez turned his attention to the Arsenal fanbase specifically. You could hear the genuine emotion in his voice when he spoke about the supporters and what they mean to the club. He praised their unwavering passion, their loyalty through both the triumphant moments and the challenging periods, and their ability to create an atmosphere that can genuinely influence the outcome of matches. But here's what gave me goosebumps during the press conference. Álvarez didn't just say he wanted to play well for the fans or that he hoped they would enjoy watching him. He went further than that. He made a personal commitment to deliver moments that will be etched into Arsenal folklore forever, the kind of memories that supporters will be talking about decades from now, the goals and performances that become part of the fabric of what it means to be an Arsenal supporter. That level of ambition and that willingness to put that kind of pressure on himself in his very first public appearance tells you everything you need to know about his mentality and his readiness to embrace the enormous expectations that come with being Arsenal's record signing. Then we come to Sandro Tonali, and if you thought Álvarez's introduction was impressive, Wait until you hear what Arsenal's new midfield maestro had to say. Tonali has been brought in specifically to address an area of the pitch that Mikel Arteta has been working to strengthen for quite some time now. The Arsenal manager has been searching for that perfect blend of technical quality, tactical intelligence, physical presence, and leadership in the middle of the park, and in Tonali, he believes he's found exactly what he's been looking for. But what made Tonali's statements today so compelling wasn't just what he said, but how he said it. There was an authority and a confidence in his delivery that suggested this is someone who has been preparing for this moment, who understands the weight of responsibility that comes with joining a club of Arsenal's stature, and who is genuinely ready to shoulder that burden. Tonali began by acknowledging something that many players might shy away from in their opening remarks. He pointed out that Arsenal Football Club is an institution that demands leaders, not just talented individuals who can perform well when circumstances are favorable, but genuine leaders who can step up when the pressure is at its highest and the margins for error are at their smallest. Rather than treating this expectation as a burden or something to be concerned about, Tonali embraced it completely. He stated in no uncertain terms that he hasn't come to Arsenal simply to add his name to the squad list or to collect a paycheck while wearing one of the most iconic shirts in world football. His ambitions extend far beyond mere participation. Tonali sees his role as being a driving force behind Arsenal's performances, someone who can elevate the team's overall level and help push his teammates to achieve things they might not have thought possible. Getting into the specifics of how he envisions his contribution on the pitch, Tonali outlined a vision of midfield dominance that will have Arsenal supporters salivating at the prospect of seeing him in action. He spoke about wanting to control matches from start to finish, dictating the tempo, managing the rhythm of games, and ensuring that Arsenal impose their style of play on opponents rather than being reactive to what other teams try to do. He emphasized his commitment to winning possession back quickly whenever Arsenal lose the ball, understanding that in modern football, the team that can transition most effectively between attack and defense often comes out on top. Tonali clearly sees himself as the vital link, the crucial connection point between Arsenal's defensive structure and their attacking ambitions. He wants to be the player who receives the ball from the back line and immediately sets the team moving forward with purpose and precision. Perhaps the most telling moment in Tonali's introduction came when he addressed the concept of pressure directly. In an era where we often see players and managers talking about managing expectations or not getting ahead of themselves, Tonali took a completely different approach. He didn't try to downplay the pressure that comes with being an Arsenal player or suggest that he needs time to adjust to the demands. Instead, he made a bold declaration that pressure is not something to be feared or avoided, but rather something to be embraced and even relished. In his view, pressure is the very thing that separates good players from great ones, the distinguishing factor that determines who can perform when it matters most. Tonali stated clearly that he thrives in high-pressure environments, that he performs at his best when the stakes are highest, and that he's excited rather than intimidated by the challenge of meeting Arsenal's expectations. Now let me tell you about the reaction to these announcements, because the response from Arsenal fans and football pundits alike has been absolutely incredible. Social media has been ablaze since the moment the club confirmed that both transfers had been completed, and the excitement levels among the Arsenal faithful have reached heights we haven't seen in quite some time. There's a genuine sense that something significant is happening at the club, that these aren't just good players being added to an already talented squad, but rather transformative signings who can genuinely shift the balance of power in English football. The combination of what these two players bring to the table has created a buzz that extends well beyond just Arsenal circles, with rival supporters and neutral observers all acknowledging that Arsenal have made serious statements of intent in the transfer market.